I want to talk about sports broadcasting. First of all, I want to preface everything I'm about to say with, if it's your dream to become a sports broadcaster, you got to go for it. Okay, my journey was just this. I went to the University of Alabama, started in 2003, figured, hey, I have a passion for sports. I'm not good enough to play college sports. Maybe I can cover them. My dream was to be on ESPN someday, possibly be a sports anchor, right? It's like half the people in sports broadcasting in college. I kept an open mind. It was hard to adjust, but I'm so glad I did. That being said, keep an open mind. Here is why I will never work in sports ever again. It took me years to get my dream job, one of my dream jobs. I was en route to my dream job. I had a fantastic job. I guess I'd call it dream job light. I became the sports anchor at KSDK, one of the sports anchors at KSDK in St. Louis, Channel 5. Solid, historic station covering, of course, the St. Louis Blues, who won the Stanley Cup when I was there, and the St. Louis Cardinals, my childhood favorite baseball team. I'm from Arthur, Illinois, a small Amish farm town in the middle of Illinois, central Illinois, just a couple hours away from St. Louis. So I found myself in the clubhouse of the team of which I idolized. I got to interview my idol, Ozzie Smith, a few different times. He knew me by my first name. Might have been his handler reminding him of my first name, but I'm just going to tell myself that Ozzie Smith knew me by name. That being said, here are 3 reasons why sports broadcasting is even more difficult than I had imagined, and why I will never do it ever again. Okay, number 1, the pay. All right, the pay can be okay once you get to larger markets, but even then you're usually lowballed, because guess what? I had one news director tell me years ago, Josh, when there's a news opening, I might get a few dozen tapes to look at. When it's a sports opening, I literally get hundreds. They can pay people less to take the position. Number 2, the schedule. The schedule's so hard, guys. Unless you're a Mike Greenberg, a Mike Tirico, one of the Mikes, you are working nights and weekends, which is just fine and dandy if you're single, if you're younger. But once you get a little older, especially once you become married, you have a family, man, having weekends off is huge, especially after having a child. If you have multiple kids, especially once they're older, you want to go to the other activities, working weekends gets really, really hard. I'm not saying you can't do it, but just know that obstacle there, it's going to become an increasingly tougher obstacle to get over the older you get. Okay, and number 3, and this is the most important one, even though I loved being a sports anchor and I got to tell great stories, I really did love that job. I love being a news anchor, specifically a morning news anchor, even more. This is the best job I've ever had as the morning anchor for Good Morning Colorado and Colorado Springs at KRDO, just because I get paid more fairly. I have my weekends off, right? But most importantly, I feel like I get to tell more stories of more substance, stories with more depth, more significance. And that is priceless. Now that I'm doing that on a regular basis, on a daily basis, I could never go back. I bet as a sports anchor, I was probably doing a small handful, maybe 3, 4, 5 stories in an entire year that I felt had great significance, great substance, went way outside the lines, bigger than the box score. And in morning news and TV news, on the news side of things, I get to do it every single day. It's so rewarding. And again, the benefits are better. Typically the pay's better. And I have my nights and weekends off to spend with my family. Priceless. I'll leave you with that. I will never go back into sports broadcasting ever again for those reasons. I am addicted to news. I love my job. I love the news side of things. So I would just recommend this. If you want to do sports broadcasting, if that's something you want to pursue it. Be ready to put your heart and soul into it every minute you got. Network, bust your butt, and maybe you can accomplish your dreams. I don't want to discourage that at all. Make it happen. But also have an open mind, because you may in the future, your future self may be happier on the news side of things, and that's okay too. Now remember, let's lift each other up. Let's be atypical.